Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is the Eccentric Mind podcast with me, George Hernandez. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Today, I had the great pleasure of interviewing one of my closest, dearest childhood friends, Marcos Viramontes. He's a bodybuilder, and today he has a lot of things to say, a lot of words to say, a lot of insights, a lot of perspective, and a lot of wisdom to share. You know, Marcos has been through a lot when it comes to bodybuilding, from what it seems like, and I couldn't be more excited to share this podcast episode because it just provides a new light on the sport itself. And thank you so much for Marcos for hopping onto the show. And I couldn't be more glad that we were able to catch up and have this conversation and just be able to see each other and just have that hug, you know? So pause. But I'm sure you're going to get a lot from this, a lot from his story, a lot of the things that he had to deal with. And just so much more to come. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Marcos Viramontes.
That's me, man.
Welcome to the show, man. Thanks you so much for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a while, man. We've been waiting for this.
Dude, let's get it. So, to the people that don't know you, what's your story, and what got you beginning to train in the first place?
My story? Oh, man. Let's take it back to, high school. You know, played high school. You know me. Your family knows me. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Always playing tape ball right there, down the street. We play football and
scooter, skating,
everything.
This is my guy.
Yeah. We basically grew up with each other, the whole fam. We were close. And then suddenly you guys, your family did your own thing. You guys found a different house. And then eventually we did the same thing just because the situation that we were in. My grandparents came down from Mexico and we had to get a bigger house. I ended up going to Valley View High School. And honestly, I got into skating. Obviously, how much I was into skating and stuff like that. And played baseball since we were little. I didn't really want to get back into playing baseball. I just wanted to do my own thing, with music and just be a little skater boy. But my parents, my brother made me try out for baseball. So I was just fuck, I gotta go try out. So, got into playing baseball at Valley View High School. My freshman year, I was on and off of varsity. And obviously, after freshman year, my sophomore year, I was already on varsity. And we started working out once I was a freshman in high school. They got us into the weight room, and that's when I actually started working out and doing lifting weights and shit. Yeah. And that's what actually made me really like working out, which is weird. There's people that are oh, I don't want to work out, but that really gave me a really good feeling. Even though it got me extremely fucking sore, I was dude, I love the feeling of being strong. Surprisingly, as a freshman, I was pretty fucking strong, just naturally, which was kind of shocking because I was a little wimp back then. you know how much of a wimp I was, and I want to say my sophomore year, I convinced my mom to give me a membership at Fitness 19, and my dad was oh no, don't get it. He's just not gonna go. I'm damn, my dad was already on my downfall right there. I'm thanks, Dad. No, but honestly, my mom ended up getting the membership, and I want to say around that time, I was working out a lot. I had baseball practice where we were weight training at the school, and then after that, I'll go home, do homework, and go straight to the gym. And that was my everyday thing, Monday through Friday, even Saturdays and Sundays, I would still go work out. And then I want to say during my junior year, I wasn't so serious in the gym. I just loved working out. It was just, just to get better for baseball. And then I want to say during my junior year, during practice, I ended up tearing my ACL during practice. So there was this little game that my coach was doing. It was called Fast T-Ball, which is I never heard of it until he mentioned it. a lot of people don't even know about it. So there's basically a tee on home plate, and there's two teams, obviously. The defense team and the offense team. The offense team could hit the ball even though the defense team is not set and ready. So once the offense team, let's say they get the 3 outs and they're rushing to the defense, the defense goes into the offense. They could gear up real quick to bat, place the ball on the tee and hit it even though there's no one right field, center field, or there's no one on first. They can still hit the ball. So it's a quick pace game. And it got me like so tired because we were just back and forth running. And your only rest is like if you're not batting. You know, like if your team's up to bat and you're not batting yet, that's probably like your only like time to rest. But the game goes so quick, you're just like, you're breathing for like 1 minute and then you're back on defense, you know. So at that time I was playing right field, and I had to go back to defense. I had just gotten off of base. Like I think I was like at second base, and I went to go in to get for my hat, my glasses, and my glove to go back to right field. The moment I get to right field, they were calling me to turn around. The ball's coming towards you. I look, I see where the ball's going. I turn back, start running towards the fence. I mean, it wasn't going to the fence because the batter, Burnaby, this guy's not like powerful like that. So he just got it enough to get it over my head. So I turn back, I start sprinting, and I was just tired. The moment I look over to find the ball, I overextended my left leg and pop. I felt my knee pop and I dropped to the ground. Honestly, I didn't know what was going on. Like, it hurt so bad. And well, the funny thing is, like, my coach came running to me. He was like, "Oh, you're just being a drama queen. Like, you know, just get up." I'm like, he's just being like, you know, being a tough coach, which I really appreciate. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, everything that he taught me, I appreciate. So he was just trying to get me to be tough. And I guess, like, the trainer came out and checked my knee out. They're like, "Oh, you just stretched out your leg." Like, over, I forgot what they said, but they said something about my leg being stretched out or something like that. And then my coach made a joke. He was like, "Oh, see, like, you're growing. Like, you're going to be taller now." I was just like, all right, whatever. A couple days passed by. My knee was so swollen. Every time when I was walking, there would be times where I felt like my knee was like dislocating, which is weird because the ligament that's connected to your knee, like where the ACL is at, is basically what's holding everything down, because you have like 3 ligaments on your knee. You got the MCL, meniscus, and the ACL. So the main important one is the ACL because it's mainly in the middle. So like I literally felt like my knee was like just going like this the whole time. Like there'll be some times where like I just felt my knee going, and it'll scare me. I was just like, dude, I don't think this is normal. You know, like I think like 2 weeks passed by and my coach said if I was good to practice, I was like, I could try. And I tried just to like even throw a ball and I just felt like very off. And I was like, nah, this ain't right. So my coach was just like, you know, just take more time off. I was like, all right, cool. I was basically just benched for everything. Like we didn't have any games going on or anything. It was just mainly practice. So I wasn't really tripping about it. And then I wanted, because the incident happened during November. Like I want to say like a week before Thanksgiving. And then I just let it, you know, I was just getting the rest out of it. I was just resting out my knee. And then Christmas vacation came on. I ended up going to Mexico and I'm just like, fuck, dude, like I'm still feeling this weirdness. Like I can't do anything. And once we got back from Mexico, I told my mom to make an appointment. And they did some scans, some x-rays, some MRI scans. And that's where I found out that there was a tear in my ACL. So we ended up scheduling for more tests. And then the surgery came on. It's crazy. I had the surgery on my sister's birthday. Yeah. And then on that day, my team for Valley View, they played at the Angel Stadium that day. I was like, damn, like I missed a year. You know, I missed the game of playing at the Angel Stadium. But it was all cool because I was able to play on it again my senior year. So during the recovery process of like tearing my ACL, made me realize like how much I need to pay attention to my body. I wasn't like really too focused on my nutrition part or anything like that. I was like, we're in high school, like we eat like a bunch of junk food, you know, and you would hear them say like, oh, make sure you eat healthy to stay strong and stuff like that. You know, when you're in high school playing sports, they always tell you like, oh, you got to eat like good food. Nah, man, I was eating fucking Takis and ice cream here and there, like McDonald's, and dude, it was all bad. But during that whole process, when I had gotten the surgery, the doctor said, make sure you have a very healthy nutrition diet if you want to make recovery in 9 months, because usually the recovery for an ACL for a young person like my age, it could take up to 9 months, 9 to 11 months. Surprisingly, I made it in 8 months. Yeah. And the doctors were pretty shocked. They're like, oh, shoot, like, we weren't expecting you to be fully recovered in the 8 months, you know? So one thing that I did, like, during that whole time, I was looking up videos for nutrition, exercises. I was also following up exercises that my therapist was giving me, doing them at the house every day, going to my therapy sessions, and, you know, just doing my research on all that stuff. So, but I'll tell you what, but when I was doing my therapy sessions, it made me want to cry. Made me want to cry. It hurt so bad. I think the therapy sessions hurt more than the actual injury. Like, I wanted to punch the shit out of my therapist, man. That shit hurt so bad, but hey, it helped me out a lot, and I appreciate the therapist for putting me through that. So I ain't really tripping. But once I got the green light to be able to go back to the gym fully, I went back to the gym. You know, like, I got back to the gym and started working out like crazy. I researched a lot of exercises. I watched a bunch of videos, tried them out at the gym. And what's crazy too, once I got cleared and I went back to the gym to train chest, I hurt myself again. I sprained. Yeah. A lot of people don't know about it because I wanted to keep it a secret because I really wanted to go back to play baseball. Yeah. I ended up like straining my shoulder, my right shoulder. So, and I was doing it on the incline bench press. I got too carried away, got excited. You know, I was working out with some buddies, and I put like a plate 25 right off the bat. Like, I did a plate, and then right after that, I put a 25 on the sides, and that's what like strained my shoulder. And it was like the next day, we had a alumni game with the previous players, and I was just like, fuck, like, how am I gonna tell my coach this, you know? So I hid it from him. I didn't tell him anything. So, like, I was batting kind of weird. I was putting more of my force on my left arm, and like, it was so hard for me to throw. Luckily, I didn't play the whole game. I just played like a little bit. Like, I probably batted like maybe once or twice. But excuse me. But you weren't really able to tell like if I was injured or not, because I took so much time off from like not playing. So it's just like, oh, he just probably got to get back in the groove, you know. So like,
a little rusty.
Yeah, a little rusty. Yeah. And I want to say like my shoulder got better like after like 2 weeks, you know. And then what's it called? I want to say like during the summer break when I was still kind of like recovering from my knee, I was still working out, honestly. Like, not a lot of people knew about that, but like there's from sophomore year going to senior year, I worked out during that whole process, like during the whole vacation time. And then I got cleared like a little bit later because I was still wearing that knee brace. I was wearing it regardless. Like, if it was like, I was already, 8 months in, 7 months in. Like, I was still wearing it just because I didn't want to risk any injuries. Right. And the funny thing is too, like, my body had made so much progress just from that time that a lot of people from my school thought, I was like, dude, like, is Marcos on steroids? Like, what the hell? Like, he did not look like that not too long ago. Like, you know. And I was just like, what the heck? Like, why would I take steroids? I'm like, I'm barely like 18 years old. Like, you guys are tripping. But nah, I got mainly known at school just for like my size and stuff like that, for being pretty much bigger than, I wouldn't say like everyone there, but like, obviously like I was stronger than a lot of people there. Not normal for like a senior to be able to, you know, deadlift 4 plates. I mean, there is now, but when I was there, like, none of the seniors were doing that. They were mainly doing like 3 plates. But yeah, after that happened, my whole senior year was just all dedicated to working out and just finishing off the year of baseball. And that's what made me realize, like, I'm not going to go nowhere in baseball now. Like, I don't play the same. It's not the same anymore. I'm not as fast. No colleges are looking at me no more, because I had a few colleges looking at me. I had RCC. I had Arizona. It was like, I forgot it was a college in Arizona. I forgot what it was called. It's been so long. One of the colleges in Arizona was looking at me. I really wanted to get into ASU for baseball.
Oh, okay. This is a Pacific? Is that?
No, ASU is Arizona State.
Oh,
Arizona State University. Yeah, I really wanted to get it with them, but obviously things happen and shit. So that kind of like got me a little depressed in high school, like not being able to do what I love. Even though, like, funny story is, like, even though I didn't want to try out my freshman year, I got the love for baseball again. And I noticed there's a lot of people that love the sport of playing the sport they're in, and then they fall off, like they lose the love for it. And I can see why now. Like, I could, like, from like talking to people and seeing what they're going through, like I can see why they're losing the love for what they do, and especially like me going through it twice. Like with baseball and then bodybuilding, like I see what exactly is the cause of it. It's motivation, and one thing that my coach always told me is, like, make sure you're having fun doing what you love to do. If you're not having fun, you're gonna lose the love for what you're doing. And that's always stuck around with me. So that's why, like, everything that I do, I make sure, like, I'm having fun, I'm having a good time. Baseball, when I was a kid, like, it was kind of like a little too serious. Like, people like my dad and my brother were taking it like very serious, like pushing me too much. You seen it, like they take us to the park every time. Like that one time, like when we were playing at Morrison Park, me and Gilbert and Anthony, my brother, my dad, we went to Valley View to get some ground balls. Like after a game when we had doubleheaders, like as much as I wanted to like just chill out and just wait till the next game, no, my dad took us to get more ground balls. I'm just like, damn, dude. Like,
is that when Anthony got the eye?
Yeah, that's when Anthony got fucked up. and then there's like, oh, let's go. I'll buy you guys some pizza. Like, I was like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Anthony got fucked up. Like, thinking about it now, that shit's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was just like, I got scared. I was like, oh shit, like, I do not want to take any more ground balls.
That's it. Call it a day.
I'm calling it a day. But yeah, like I was saying, like I got that love again and like that enjoyment, having fun playing the ball again, was from like playing in high school. Like we were having a lot of fun. It wasn't like so serious. I mean, there was times where we had to be serious, but like we still had our fun.
You're messing around with your teammates.
Yeah, having a good time, competing with each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I bet you won't be able to get on base. And, like we will compete with each other. But, yeah, like, and that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of people and with myself, that you tend to lose the love for what you're doing is because you're not having fun anymore. And when I got into bodybuilding, I had so much love for it. I was having so much fun. Obviously, like with the people that I was working out with, they made it fun. And I did my first show back in 2017. And it was a lot of fun. Like, I really loved it. And then once I started progressing more in bodybuilding and getting more into it, it didn't feel like I was working out anymore. It felt like I was doing it as a job. Like I'm just like, damn, this hurts. I'm pushing my body more. I'm not doing it for the pump anymore. It's more like a job. Like, damn, I have to do this. Like, I have to train hard. I have to do this for legs. I have to do that for back. I'm like, fuck, I don't like doing that, but I have to do it. I got to take all these supplements. I got to eat all this food. I'm a foodie. Like, I'm a fat ass at heart, but like sometimes like eating all these meals every day could get a little tiring.
Seeing the same ground turkey and the same chicken breast with the same 100 grams of broccoli, 2 ounces of rice.
Yeah, exactly. So it can get a little tiring, but at the end of the day, the way that I saw it is like, I'm not eating for enjoyment. I'm eating to survive, for progression. So I didn't really care like what it was. I was still eating it. And that's one thing too, like when you're in this sport, you tend to like really pay attention on how this food is reacting to your body. how your body's reacting to certain foods, how your body's reacting to certain vegetables, to carbohydrates and proteins, and really notice what works best for you, you know. And that's what one thing that I got to see with myself. Like, my body can't digest fucking broccoli. I'll end up getting the bubble guts. I'm gonna have to like go use the bathroom. I'm just like, damn. And broccoli is like very good for a lot of things, you know. And I'm like, I can't eat broccoli because of that reason, you know. So, but one thing I did notice, I could eat what is it? I think it's called broccoli slaw. So basically, it's like coleslaw with broccoli and has like carrots and other. Yeah, I'm able to eat that for some reason. Yeah, but I can't eat like whole broccoli.
Like steamed or any
just any kind of broccoli, but I can eat broccoli slaw, which is really fucking weird.
Is it good though?
It's pretty good.
It's good.
Like, I'll mix it with like my rice and my ground turkey, and it actually tastes pretty good. Yeah. You know, it's very easy to eat. It's shredded. You know, you can eat a lot of it because it's very, you know, low calories. It's very dense full. You know, you can eat a lot of it. You know, it's light. You can eat a bunch of it. So, yeah, you start to notice like a lot of different things like when you're in this sport, which is crazy. So, once I got into like competing, and I didn't know like I didn't know too much about bodybuilding. I was barely getting into it. I had a coach that helped me out in it. But that kind of like faded away throughout time just for like personal reasons, and you know, actually getting to know someone, you tend to realize what type of person they are. You know, I'm not gonna get too deep in that, but yeah, I mean, I am thankful and grateful for all the knowledge that he gave me and what he taught me, and being there for me for those times. But he taught me a lot about like exercises and nutrition, supplements, and you know, obviously, and other stuff. But yeah, I want to say that's what really got me into like becoming like a bodybuilder was my senior year, realizing like I'm not gonna have a future with baseball. So I was like, I gotta find something else to do. And what other thing that I love besides gaming do I really love doing is working out. Yeah. So I want to say that's what got me to where I'm at now. It's just like playing baseball and getting hurt, and just falling the like love for the sport of bodybuilding.
Yeah, going all into bodybuilding. You talked about the fact that you did get the ACL tear, and then senior year that you decided to make the transition going to bodybuilding. Yo, you just threw a fluke or something.
That's crazy.
Talk to me about that transition from baseball over to bodybuilding, because what it seems like you knew baseball all your life growing up. So then how was that transition like of getting rid of something you knew super well? You knew baseball well, you knew all that well. So how did you decide like, okay, this is the right choice to make because I feel like I like this, so I'm gonna just go into this?
I want to say like maybe just because of like the dedication for it. Like I was so dedicated in baseball, and also the disciplinary, you know, you have to be very mentally focused and mentally strong playing the sport. It's very mindful, like mind games. You know, there's a lot of tricks playing baseball, and there's a lot of things you have to think about in bodybuilding. You know, you have to be mentally strong. And I want to say bodybuilding is probably harder than playing baseball, obviously, you know. I mean, you're not actually like physically doing anything like crazy, but like you are working out. But mentally, it's a mental sport.
Yeah, because it's you against you.
It is you against you. You're fighting against your own thoughts.
Your cravings.
You know, your mood swings are all over the place, and a lot of people don't know like, what really control your mood swings is your carbohydrates. Yeah. You know, cut all your carbohydrates, you're gonna be, you know, very snappy, very low, like short-tempered, just because like carbohydrates is what makes you happy and very energized. And when you cut that out of your diet completely for like 3 to 4 weeks, you're gonna feel change. You're gonna feel like, fuck, like I don't want to deal with no one right now. Like, don't even talk to me. Don't look at me. You know, someone says something wrong, you snap at them. What? Like, you know. So it's very like, it's very mentally, like you have to be very mentally strong. And I want to say you have to be emotionally strong as well. Yeah. you know, and I give props to a lot of females because they have it worse than the males. Yeah, no doubt. You know, I know a couple females that had done the sport and they actually gone through like suicidal thoughts, which is crazy. You know,
for a sport too. Just
for a sport, you know, because doing the sport will really get you like seeing how like far you can push your body and see how you could get. And especially with competing, your body changes a lot, you know, like you said earlier off of camera, like your life's an experiment. Your body's an experiment.
Yeah. Wow. I like that.
You know,
I love that.
So you get to see the limits you push your body, what you can do. And in an instant, it goes away. You know, especially being on prep and, you know, on peak week, your body's so depleted, tired, dry, you're thirsty, you're hungry. And if you're not mentally strong, your cortisol levels are off, that could go away in an instant. You know, you start stressing out about a payment. You start stressing about your rent, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Boom, your body starts holding on to water instantly. You know, that's why you have to have like a very strong mindset. You have to be very like emotionally strong, stable. Don't let those emotions get to you, because in an instant, like that could all change. And I want to say like baseball did help me out with that, just because you be in those very stressful and under pressure moments where you have to like really calm down and really think about the main situation of the main focus. And especially like you're playing in front of a lot of people, families, friends, your teammates, your coach. You don't want to let anyone down, so you're under pressure. You're under pressure a lot, you know. And I've gotten that experience multiple times playing high school ball, and I kind of used that same, you know, feeling of when I used to play into bodybuilding. You know, like you can still use the same, you know, strategies and aspects of like into a different thing, like especially like bodybuilding. That's what I used, and that's what kind of got me through like being able to do, you know, bodybuilding shows. So I would say it's similar in a way, you know, but I would just say that bodybuilding is a more tougher sport mentally and emotionally. Yeah, for sure.
Man, good answer, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Going from the thing I think about too when it comes to bodybuilding is your body's literally trying to keep itself alive, because you're depleting it, like you said, from all the fat sources that it has. You're trying to get as lean as you possibly could. Mm-hmm. Your body's like fighting against that, trying to keep itself alive. So I can only imagine the amount of stress that you're putting onto your body as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's like a physically and a spiritually and a emotionally demanding sort of sport.
Yeah. Like it's like you said, it's like it's you against you.
Yeah. I could only imagine there are people, like you said, that love the sport dearly. Mm-hmm. Where does that love come from, even though you're putting yourself through that kind of torture in a way?
There's people that love it. Yeah. They love that torture. It's weird. It's really weird. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I told you, like I'm a fat ass at heart. You know, I'm a fat ass at heart. So, I love food, and there's people that love, you know, they're addicted to the look that they get. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to say like sometimes when I'm on prep, I like the feeling of feeling hungry, like starving. Just because I know like, oh, I'm making progress. Like my metabolism's like through the roof right now. And I love that feeling. You know, I don't like the feeling when I'm like bulking and I'm like starving. I'm like, fuck, I need to eat. Like I'm hungry. But when I'm on prep and I know that I'm eating and I'm constantly hungry, I know that I know my body's making progress because I'm constantly like hungry. Yeah. Even though I just ate a goddamn meal right after, you know. Mm-hmm. But there's those people that love putting their body through that pain of the exercises, that putting their body under stress, you know. There's people that are addicted to that. They're addicted to the pain. They're addicted to the look. There's even some people addicted to the drugs, you know, which is a whole different story. Yeah. and they just love it. Like, they don't lose the love for it. They don't see it as a job. They, some people make money off of this, like content, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And I feel like that's where I lost the love of the sport. Whereas when I saw a lot of TikTokers trying to become bodybuilders, I'm just like you don't even you're doing it just for fame, trying to get fame out of it, and it's not a good look, and it kind of like doesn't bother me, but like it like.
I was trying not to break.
It doesn't like I mean, that's their pedo, that's their own shit, but it does kind of does upset me, and it does get me mad a little bit when there's people that are trying to make a change in their lives, physically and mentally, and they're trying it with the gym. But once they start seeing all these content creators at the gym and trying to record their exercises, setting up their tripods everywhere, and I'm just like, they get uncomfortable. I know how they could get. I had some clients that were like that. They come to me for a reason. Like, when I was doing personal training, the only reason why they would train with me is because I train at a private facility. They're not going to see a lot of that. I mean, they're going to see it because obviously the trainers record their clients. They'll have their stuff, but it's not like at a public gym, at a, commercial gym where a lot of people are going to get content where it's rush hour, and they're there just for hours just trying to make a video and just, and I just feel like these people that are in doing the content creation, creating and for bodybuilding, I just feel like they're doing it for the wrong reasons, but who am I to say something, that's their shit. But that's, and that kind of also got me losing the feeling for bodybuilding, because honestly, a lot of those new content creators or the people that are barely getting into bodybuilding don't know what they're doing exactly. And they start seeing other people doing stuff, and they start obviously seeing old bodybuilders, and obviously they talk about drugs, and they barely started working out 1 year, and they're already on a cycle.
Yeah, at 19 or 20 years old too.
Exactly.
They don't have an idea of the negative impacts that it has.
Exactly.
You shed off 5 to 10 years of your life doing it, but they're just trying to get as shredded as they possibly could, and they think, oh well, I'd rather get as lean and as shredded as I could, and if I just lose 5 years, then I'm fine with that. But they don't have the context or the perspective of what it is to live life yet. They're fucking young.
Mm-hmm. And that's where they get a little addicted to it. I've seen some guys that were just get too addicted of the look. And I don't know if you have noticed it in the gym on how certain people, I don't know if you could tell when someone's on steroids and someone that's off steroids.
I can't. How can you tell?
There's multiple ways of telling the graininess of how the muscle looks, how full the muscle is, how full it is. Obviously, the body fat percentage, how vascular they are. But there still could be people that are on steroids and they're not as vascular. It's just because of genetics. Acne is one of them. Not everyone's going to get acne. I don't get crazy acne when I do take a cycle. But yet again, I don't take a crazy amount of things. I take the very bare minimum, because I really pay attention to my body, and I really want to be doing it the right way and being healthy at it, at least. There's people that don't know the source to go to, who to get it from. So that's how you could tell who's on kind of steroids, just because you could pay attention to their skin, their acne. What else? I just want to say how just the fullness of the muscle and how grainy it looks. If it looks rock solid and they're very vascular, yeah, they're most likely they're gonna be on steroids. Because if you look at a natural person that's 6-7% body fat, they're not gonna have that same fullness. because they won't be able to, because they're natural. But when they're on steroids, they will be able to, because that gives you that extra like push and look that your body's gonna get, you know. And a lot of people get addicted to that look. They want to keep looking like that. They want to get more crazier, get a crazier look. And I just feel like a lot of people are like you said, like they don't give themselves time and like experience life and then get on it. A lot of people are in a rush of trying to look a certain way because, for instance, look at Sam Solik. That dude's fucking crazy. Huge. He's young, but he's fucking huge. But he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. You know, a lot of people are trying to like become the next, you know, popular thing. Like, oh, this guy looks crazy. Like, I want to top that person. It's not gonna fucking happen. It's not. I'm sorry. With this sport, like, there has to be. First of all, you have to have some really fucking crazy genetics. You really do. You know, I know people that don't have good genes and they're taking steroids and they still look the same. You know, and they've been working out for years. So it's just like maybe you're just not built for it. You know, your genetics is just not letting you. Yeah. You know, no matter how much you're eating, no matter what type of steroids you're taking or whatever, how much you're working out, your progress is just going to be slow. Yeah. You know,
compared to the other guy who's got crazy genetics.
Yeah. You know, body reacts good to everything. They can eat like maybe 5 times a day and still grow like really quick. You know, there's gonna be those type of guys. You know, and I feel like Sam Solik was one of those like that grew really quick. I was able to like grow really quick, and his body reacts really well to everything. But yet again, like he's very consistent with everything. Consistency is like very important. You know, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of like these younger cats are just trying to rush into things, try to get that fame, trying to get that look, you know, trying to become like TikTok famous. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, like you can make a lot of money with that, like do your thing, but like at least like be courteous and give people the respect, you know. And obviously like those new people that are trying to make a change, you know, like don't make them feel some type of way, you know, like especially at a commercial gym. I don't feel like people should be recording in commercial gyms. Just go in there, do your thing, and get out. You know, if you want to do like more of like content, like I feel like you should be able to contact like private facilities or at least like smaller gyms, like the gym that I'm at, Old School Barbell. It's not a private facility, but it's open to the public, but it's not crazy packed. Yeah, it's very cool. I love it there. You know, I feel like gyms like that where you should be doing your content at. But I just don't feel like people like are trying to change their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like there should be people there doing content at all. Yeah. You know, like don't get me wrong, I was kind of like that when I was young, but it wasn't like crazy, like to the point where I had a tripod and you know like bugging people and stuff like that. I was just recording my workouts. That's it. I was doing. That's all I was doing. But later on, I didn't realize like, oh shit, like there's probably people that are annoyed of it. You know, so I stopped doing it. And once I was at a private facility or like a smaller gym, that's where I was more able to record more of my shit because, one, I worked there. No one can tell me anything. You know, who's gonna tell me? I'm like, motherfucker, I pay rent here. Like, you know, but yeah, it's just a whole crazy thing with like a lot of people like getting into the sport. Like, I really feel like they should do the research, give themselves time, and really, really think about what they want to do with this sport because it is not a guaranteed in the future. Yeah. I'll tell you that.
The odds are stacked against you.
Yeah.
From what it seems like. Mm-hmm. What would you tell, let's say you have an 18-year-old sitting in front of you who looks at you as a role model, mm-hmm. and he's telling you how badly he wants to get into bodybuilding and he's staying consistent. He's seeing tons of progression. He thinks he can really be something great. And he asks you, Marcos, what's one piece of advice that you would give me moving forward? What piece of advice would you give him?
One thing I would say, because I've already dealt with that before, I mean, it wasn't an 18-year-old, but it was a buddy of mine. He actually like really looked up to me. I helped him out, and he would tell me, dude, I saw you since fitness 19. I really want to compete. This is what I want to do. And one thing I told him was like, I'm like, if this is what you really want to do, I'm like, do a show. That will tell you if you want to continue doing it. Do a show. Prep it for a show.
He just did one too, right?
He did a second one. I think it was like a couple months ago. It wasn't under me. It was under with another coach from I don't think he's at Selfmade anymore. But he's a really good coach. Like I'm glad that he went with him because he's really smart. Yeah. You know, he's been in it for quite some time. So I'm kind of glad he went with that coach. Frankie, his name is Frankie. He does men's physique. So he has a lot of knowledge on like nutrition and supplements and everything that he needs to know. So I'm kind of glad he went with him instead of like someone else that no one knows, you know? But yeah, like once I started going to Fitness Mania, he was there and he was telling me like, dude, like I want to do this. Like I look up to you. Like you're my motivation. You're inspiring me in this. I was like, you know what? Like you got to do a show to see if you really want to do this. You know, do a show, prep for a show. Let's see if you're mentally prepared for this. Like, you know, because you're basically battling against yourself mentally. So I told him like, it's not going to be easy, bro. Like you could say that you're dieting, but like you haven't been dieting for a prep. It's completely different. Being on a regular diet to maintain your body is completely different from being on prep, like dieting for prepping for a show. So he was like, I'll do whatever you need me to do. You know, I'll work out with you, this and that. I was like, you know what? All right. And I told him like, look, like I'll do this for free, bro. Like I usually don't, you know, but if you're like into it, like if you're in it for 100%, like I'll do it for free. Don't even worry about it. But the moment that I see that you're slacking off and I see you're not taking it serious, no, I'm going to charge you. I'm going to charge you $500
Nice.
for you just to work out with me, you know? Like, I don't want my time to be wasted, you know? Like, I have a bunch of stories of, like, being taken for granted in personal training. I'll get into, like, later. He was like, no, man, like, I'm in it for 100%. I'm like, all right, let's get started. I made him a diet, workout routine. We were doing exactly the same thing. So I was doing my old routine that I did back in 2021, back in 2021, my routine that I was doing. I had him do it, just obviously just a little bit different, just because like I was just really paying attention on his body. And yeah, he naturally for being natural, he got down pretty low for body fat percentage. It's not the same look that he would get when he's on steroids, obviously, but naturally he got pretty shredded. Nice. And after doing that show, he wanted to take it to the next step, and I told him because he's in a relationship, and I told him like, you need to talk to your girlfriend about doing this, like, because there's gonna be bumps on the road of doing this, and I told him like, you're not gonna get nothing out of this. You're competing as an amateur. You gotta realize that you're gonna be putting a lot of money into it. So you got to talk to your girl about it, that this is something that you really, really want to do. And it was kind of like a little bump in the road with him and his relationship. But they were able to manage. So he wanted to take it to the next step. And I actually told him it's okay to do it, just because he's been working out for many years, because we're the same age. And I told him like, if this is something that you really want to do, you're going to have to listen to everything that I tell you. And once I started giving him the information that he needs for protocols, I felt like he was getting addicted to it. He wanted more. And he was actually telling me like, I want to take this and that. Can you get it for me? Do you know who I could go to? And I told him straight up right there, like when we walked into the gym, I was like, I'm not going to train you no more, bro. I'm like, because you're pushing it. You're pushing it way too much. You need to slow down. If you want to take that, go for it. But I'm not going to train you no more. I want you to do it the right way. I want you to be healthy. I don't want you to get addicted to it. because the stuff that he wanted to take, you could get addicted to it very, very fast because it gives you a crazy look. It makes you like like you drop so much weight. You get strong as shit, you know, and he really wanted to take it. And I told him, you can take it, but I'm not going to tell you how to take it or where to get it from. But I'm going to stop working out with you for sure. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, I don't want to be felt liable for you taking something and it doesn't turn out to be like, you know, working for your body, or you take too much of it. I don't want to be held liable. So, you know, I was like, you know what? You're right. He's like, I'll just wait and this is that. And then we kind of went our own parts, like, just because, like, my personal issues that I was going through. I stopped going to that gym, and that's when I went to old school. So I stopped getting, like, in contact with him. Like, he was doing his own thing. I was doing my own thing. And that's when he got, like, basically a different coach. And yeah, like, I already dealt with that experience of, like, dealing with someone that looked up to me and was inspired by me and wanting to compete. Yeah. So that's the advice that I would give someone, just to actually do what they want to do. If that's what they want to do, like compete in bodybuilding, actually do it to see if you love it. Because you wanting to do it and you actually doing it, as you could get two different feelings. 1,000%. You know, you do the whole prep, feel good, and then once you get on stage, you're just like, fuck, like, I didn't look good. I don't want to do this no more. You know? But if you love the whole process of going through prep, posing, not being able to sleep at night because of, like, hunger, being so exhausted, your mind's going all over the place. If you love doing all that, like, you can deal with it, go for it. You know? So that's the advice that I would give someone. Do it first. Actually do it to find out if you really want to continue doing it.
Because that's where you really find out whether or not you want to do it, because you're putting yourself in the gutter. Yeah, and exactly. In the gutter is the only way you can figure out whether you want to do it or not. Yeah, that's good advice. I like to ask this question, but you have 10 exercises for the rest of your life to get as jacked as possible. What 10 exercises are you doing and why?
You know what's crazy? That you asked me that. Back then, when I was, like, getting barely into, like, working out, I was like, oh, I had to do everything. I got to do everything. Yeah. So I was always doing a bunch of, like, arm exercises. I was doing a bunch of, like, back exercises. So I was, like, basically trying to do, like, every damn machine, every exercise in the gym when I was younger. But later on, I realized, dude, you don't need that many fucking exercises. You don't. You know? Fucking, I'm in the gym doing, like, maybe 2 to 3 exercises per muscle group. Yeah. Back then, like, for my legs to grow, like, a lot, I was training my legs 3 times a week. A lot of people might not believe me, but I'm like, dude, like, I have receipts, bro. You know, like, I know people that train with me that know, like, my old workout routine of me training legs. It was Tuesday quads, Thursday hamstrings, and then Sunday was full legs. I did that for, like, almost a whole year. Yeah. You know?
And what, 3-hour training sessions? 2.5
It would be, like, a little over 2 hours, just because it wasn't just me. It was also, like, my previous coach, and it was also, like, another guy. Like, it would be, like, maybe, like, 4 people, 3 people in the session, you know? So it would last a little long, but sure. When I'm by myself, the workout session's at least, like, an hour. Yeah. You know, and then maybe, like, another 20 minutes, 30 minutes cardio, you know? So, I would say for legs, I wouldn't do a lot. Leg extensions, either standing or seated, leg curls for the hamstrings.
Very good. Yeah.
Smith machine squats.
Yes, 1,000%.
You know, and then I would say that's basically about it for legs.
For legs, okay.
Yeah.
7 more.
Arms, keep it very basic. You could do a lot of things with just cable curls, straight bar. Yeah. Same thing for tricep extensions. I would just mainly stick with for triceps. I would stick with skull crushers.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chest, I would stick with dumbbell presses.
Okay. Incline, flat.
Incline for sure. Yeah,
okay.
incline.
Yeah, you're getting the clavicular and the sternocostal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shoulders, that one's kind of a tough one because it goes all around. You have, the three.
Yep. You do get some with the incline though on chest press.
A little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just depends on what the level is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Damn, shoulders. I would say side laterals.
Okay.
Because
exercise. Cable, dumbbell.
I would say dumbbell.
Okay.
I know a couple strategies. I prefer just dumbbell exercises more.
More free weight.
Yeah. I just feel like I could hit the whole shoulder, even though like you might not feel it, but like if you have like that really strong mind and muscle connection, I feel like you'll be able to still target your rear delts in a way. What's that? 8? 7. You know what? I'll throw in a rear delt exercise. So it's gonna target the whole shoulder. I don't know what it's called. It was just taught to me. Someone just showed me it. So I'm just gonna explain it. So you grab 5 pounds dumbbells and you bring them up right here towards like basically chest level. You bring back your elbows back, and this is gonna help you target your rear delt. You bring it back, and then you bring it back forward, and you push forward and up, and this is gonna target your whole shoulder. You might not think it's gonna do anything, but I guarantee you, if you were to train shoulders, maybe do like 3 exercises of shoulders, and then do that as a finisher, your shoulders are gonna fucking be burned out.
Yeah.
And now do like about either 12 to 15 reps of it for 3 sets.
That's 8.
Mm-hmm. So for back, I would say bent over rows with the barbell. That targets the whole back.
Hell yeah.
And then am I missing anything? I got legs. Chest.
Oh man, you need calves. You need hammies.
Calves. I don't train.
You said seated leg curl.
Yeah, for hamstrings. And then Smith machine squats. Calves. Honestly, I wouldn't even pay attention to calves if I'm being honest with you, I don't train calves.
And how are they?
People say they're big. I'm like, unless they're lying to me, unless they're lying. But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't train them. And they're like, what? They're fucking huge. But I think it's just because when I used to squat, I would put a lot of pressure in my calves. I would focus on contracting my calves a lot. Yeah. So I think it's from that.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of, it's like a suboptimal exercise. Like anything relative to squatting, you're also working your hammies and your calves.
You're training everything.
Yeah. Everything. So you do get some stimulation in your calves.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't feel like I don't train my calves at all. Yeah. But there are some certain exercises that I do that do target the calves. Usually, like when you have a weight under your heels that are elevated, that would train your calves as well.
Interesting.
Because if you really think about it, if you do a calf raise, your heels are elevated, so you're already contracting your calves. So if you do, a squat on a Smith machine and you have, let's say, a 25-pound plate under your heels, you're already contracting your calves.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I did a lot of those.
Yeah.
So, but still, I wouldn't do any calf exercises, to be honest. Yeah. And then when I do the Stairmaster, I'm always on my tippy toes. Facts. So for the last exercise, I already got the back for let's see, I got back, chest, arms, triceps, legs, shoulders. Another main one that I do, I want to say rack pulls.
I had a feeling you were going to say rack pulls.
I love rack pulls. Yeah. I love that shit. Targets the whole back as well, mainly the lower back. It targets the hamstrings, the glutes. So you're kind of like, the arm. It targets your whole body, So I would say that's a really good exercise to do, rack pulls. I don't prefer deadlifts, but if you're trying to go for like a mainly full exercise, I would say deadlifts. But in all reality, I feel like rack pulls are a little harder because you're just doing it at a different level, than instead of the ground. Yeah. Because obviously when you're on the ground, you can actually pick up a little bit more weight than the weight being like maybe a foot off the ground. Elevated. Yeah. So I would say rack pulls. I would say those are the main exercises that I will stick to. Mm-hmm.
And going from bodybuilding over to training now, you mentioned before that you work at and you pay rent at Old School Barbell. Mm-hmm. What's that transition like going from, when you were originally doing bodybuilding yourself over to other people now? You mentioned you trained another like mentee before, but is it more so you're training them to compete, or are you training them just to get into better, healthier physical shape?
That's one thing that you'll notice when you're doing personal training. You're gonna get all types of people. Want better health, lifestyle, want to learn something new. They will get people that actually want to compete, people that just want to get strong, trying to lose weight. Some people that just need that extra advice on like form, and I also do posing, So I'll have a couple people that are wanting to learn more about posing or helping on the routines. You're gonna get different reasons. People will come to you for different reasons. Yeah. I had clients that were just trying to get out the house because it was so toxic in their household, and all of a sudden you're their therapist. Yeah. They'll pay you to train, but they're just there to talk to you. Yeah.
Which is what a lot of people need sometimes too.
Exactly. Yeah. They might not have anyone out here. They might move from a different state, so they don't have anyone. They hire a trainer. They just start venting. I had a couple clients like that. But in all reality, like, you're just gonna get different types of people out for different reasons. Okay. I used to work at the Camp Transformation Center at a boot camp.
Me too.
Yeah. So there are people that are just trying to lose weight. So I already have that experience of like circuit training, HIIT training. Mm-hmm. So you use all that stuff like from bodybuilding and what I learned from boot camp, and I can apply it to training my clients. Yeah. And just depending on their experience on working out or where their intensity is at. So I could basically have them do the exercises that I do, but just lower the intensity. Yeah. Or make it more easier for them, because they're obviously at a different pace than I am. Mm-hmm. So I can apply bodybuilding into personal training very well. Just know the person's body well. Really pay attention on how they work out and what they can and cannot do, basically. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are gonna have injuries. They had back problems. Knee problems. Yeah. My neck feels this type of way. I can't do these exercises. Yeah. So you gotta basically work with them, maneuver certain things. That's one thing with what I learned in personal training, is that I was able to modify a lot of things, and that will help you in the long run for yourself and for other people. This person has knee problems, so you figure out a way to do that exercise but in a different way, for they won't feel pain on the knee. And you're like, oh shoot, I could have someone else do this. I can do it for myself. I don't want to feel any strain on my knees. I'm gonna do it for myself. Just trying to make it a little bit more difficult. Yeah. So that's one thing with personal training. I was able to modify a lot of exercises. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marcos. So then, what are your next moves moving forward?
My next moves. Well, I have taken like obviously like time off from the gym, like from what we spoke about, like off camera and stuff. Um, I'm not really like too focused on working out as much. Like, I still want to work out. Like, I still get that itch of wanting to work out still. Um, but like my main focus is just focusing on an actual career. Like, I really want to get into law enforcement. Um, that's my main focus right now, or at least like to get like a more better stable job. I don't really mind what it is, like if it's in construction or something more stable. But law enforcement, it's the goal. Get into the sheriff's department or even becoming like a police officer. So like right now, like what I'm really focusing on is like running. Even though I haven't been running lately, just because like I'm just not like motivated right now. I'm just focusing on myself and stuff like that. And but yeah, that's like I want to say that's my main focus. I honestly just want to get away from like being in the gym so much, like personal training and all that stuff. Like I just feel like burnt out. I don't know how other people feel, but this is what made me feel when I was doing personal training full time. I was just at the gym constantly all day for like over 12 hours, and made me not want to work out anymore. You just get like mentally drained and you're just not motivated just because you're at the gym all day, but eventually like I do like would want to get back to how my body used to look, like at like very lean, not extremely lean, but like to the point where like I have a little bit of abs and vascularity. Like that's the look that I really like. Right now I'm just chilling, but that's the main goal right now, is just to focus on my career. Just focusing on priorities right now, like being realistic in life, because obviously like when I was competing, obviously that was like my main focus, and that's what I really wanted to do. I want to become a pro bodybuilder. I did have like a bunch of opportunities to do it, but I didn't do it just because the situations that I was in at the moment. I didn't follow through it. And it just started hitting me. I was like, you know what? Like, there's no future in this unless if I'm going all the way, like 100% on social media, competing, marketing myself. I just didn't see myself doing that. So that's where I made the switch. Like I went back to school. I went to a trade school to get into doing, working in HVAC. That didn't work out for me. And then I started looking into doing law enforcement. So that's what I really want to do right now.
And why is that? Why do you want to go deeper into law enforcement?
The reason why is like I got into working in security, private security. I dealt with a lot of people. I saw what's on the streets. And that's what really opened up my eye on wanting to help people, making a difference on the streets, just helping people in general is like what I do, like from personal training, and just in general, like I put other people first other than myself. And I think that's where I'm like, like this is where I'm like focusing on myself, just to put myself first this time, because in the past I just put other people before myself. So,
which is like really admirable, to be able to put other people ahead of your own self. Like people care a lot about themselves, but to care more about another individual over yourself, it's completely admirable.
Yeah, of course. So that's what I did in personal training, like what I told you about, like where I got took it for granted a lot. When I was doing personal training, I understood, and I've been where they've been, where money's an issue. I can't afford it, but I really want to make a change in my health. I need to get healthier. I need to lose weight. So they couldn't afford me. So I only lowered my prices according to their budget. And a lot of people took advantage of that. So one thing is like, I'm too nice. People might see me and they're like, oh, you look like an asshole, or, you're so serious and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I'm like the nicest person you can meet, you know. Don't let all this muscle fool you, you know. Like I'm a big ass wimp inside, you know. But you know, honestly, like I'll be tough and you know I'll be an asshole when it's needed. But you know, when people are trying to like better themselves or trying to make a change, like
There's a soft spot.
that's a soft spot, you know, that gets me. I'm just like, you know what, like I'll help you out, because not just for one, just because I'm nice. It's just because like I've had that issue too. I've been in the same position. Like I wanted to compete, money was tight, and I had a coach that really helped me out. I actually had like 2 coaches that were very lenient with me. So I was like, why not help out others in the same way, you know, as I was helped. So I got taken for granted. You know, there was this one moment where what really like changed my mind of like, you know, budgeting changing my prices or being firm with them was with just one client, you know, that really like.
The boat?
Yeah, no, not the boat one.
Oh.
No. It was around the time where I already graduated school. I already got my job for HVAC, but there was a client that still has sessions, you know, and around the time when I had signed him up, you know, I gave him the price of like for him and his son, you know, it was a good price for three times a week, you know, $700 a month just for the both of them, and they get full nutrition, and he wanted his son to compete, so I think it was a really good deal, you know, and he wanted to get back to me, like, see if they could basically afford it. He calls me back later saying like, oh, it's like he was going over through his bills, like he couldn't do it, like if he could like lower the rate, and I lowered the rate by $200, you know, and he said that he could do that. So the last couple sessions, like I think I wanted to say there was about 5 sessions left for what he paid for, and that's when I was already done personal training at the gym, and I was working full time and doing AC. So I was training him either at his house, because he has like equipment at his house, or I was training him at LA Fitness, where I was working out with him. You know, the first 2 sessions were at LA Fitness, and then the third one was at his house, and that was the last session I trained him, just because he basically like played me, you know. I got to see like the real side of him, and like what basically him like lying to me and taking advantage of me. I pull up to his house, I see a toy trailer outside. I'm like, damn, this is nice. Like, you know, I didn't think anything of it at first. I'm like, damn, this is nice. He's probably been having this for a while, which he did. You know, we started talking, you know, just conversating before we got the session started. He had his toys outside, his 2 side-by-sides, and then he had like quads in the back. I'm just like, damn, this guy must have money. Like, you know, like he's able to afford all this stuff, you know, nice house, toy trailer, 2 toys. He has a bunch of like mountain bikes, expensive mountain bikes, like over $1,000 worth of bikes. And then, where I started realizing that he took advantage of me was when his wife pulled up to the house with a brand new Denali SUV, brand stinking new, bought cash, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I just bought this for my wife. It was like $103 or $104,000." He's like, "I bought it cash." I was like, "Oh damn!" I'm like, "All right," you know. I'm like, maybe that's why he wanted a budget to buy his wife that car. I'm like, it's understandable, you know. But later down the road, like throughout the session, he just talks about, oh, I'm trying to get these jet skis. There's like, he was trying to buy 3 jet skis for like 15 grand. And I was just like, I'm like, so you're trying to buy all these things? Like, you just bought a brand new Denali and you're still trying to buy more toys? I'm like, but you don't want to pay $700 a month for your health? Which tripped me out, you know? I was just like, what the hell? Like, and then he was telling me that he's going to take his family to a trip, this and that. Like, they were going to go on vacation for a while. And that's where I like got my reaching point. I just put the cherry on top. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not training you guys no more. I'm like, I'm not going to refund you. I'm like, you just took full advantage of me. Like, I feel some type of way because you're basically rubbing all your stuff in front of my face and you're complaining about paying $700 a month for you and your son's health, you know? So my prices that are at right now, I keep it firm just for the weekend. And the only reason why they're a little bit more expensive than usual is just because it's the only time that I have off. So I take my personal time very serious now. Yeah. So I get whoever I get. If they're serious about training, I'll get them. You know, if you're not serious and you're just trying to lower the rate, I'm not gonna fall for it anymore. So, obviously, if they're previous clients that want to come back, obviously I'll work something with them just because they stuck with me for a while and like they actually train with me already. But like any new clients that are wanting to train, I'm not gonna lower anything for them. Like if they can't afford it, they can't afford it. I'm sorry. You know, they're gonna have to go with another trainer. And especially with the knowledge that I have, I feel like I'm worth the rate that I'm at.
Absolutely.
You know, so
it's unfortunate that you have to kind of deal with those certain lessons and those experiences just to realize like, okay, what you don't want for the next time. It just sucks that it has to be that way. Yeah,
exactly. Like I'm pretty sure every trainer has gone through it. But there's some trainers that are more stricter than any other ones that don't let it happen at the beginning, you know. But there's those trainers that do want to help out people no matter what the price is, like for free, $20 a session, $10, or you know, they'll be expensive as hell. You know, I see it like the more expensive you are, the more knowledge you have. Like obviously, like I've seen coaches that charge us like $90 to $100 an hour, but they're actually worth it, and they're very serious about their business. Even like my buddy Christian, that's at Self-Made West Covina. He's just a posing coach now. I mean, I think he still does some training sessions with some clients, but he's mainly a posing coach, and he's worth every dollar, every fucking dollar. He taught me a lot of things. You know, I took my old buddy to go with him, you know, because I trust him and he's good at what he does. You know, he loves the sport. He loves it. He loves helping people out, you know, and he just knows what he's talking about, and he's really good at what he does too. So I feel like with him, like he's worth every penny to pay just to get like one session with him.
Yeah, I remember you posted recently, like on your Instagram, that you're still hosting some more clients, or
yeah, I'm still taking up like at the moment I'm still taking up like maybe 2 to 3 more clients, just serious clients. I want to make a change, especially with this new year. I haven't posted anything recently, but I am taking up like maybe 2 to 3 more clients that are serious about like losing weight or changing in their fitness, like trying to get more advice or even advice. I give out advice for free. Like I'm not like that type of person. Like, oh no, you gotta pay me for advice. No, like if you have questions, I'm gonna answer them. You know, but if you want to learn more in depth, more deep into like bodybuilding or just lifestyle, or making a change in your body, like for just wellness in general, like I'll take up those clients, you know. So
I love that. That can be the next podcast episode we have.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Full scope detail and giving some
to be continued.
Marcos, man, I fucking appreciate you coming.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
Thank you so much for hopping on. Like giving me your time and coming in. Looking spiffy too. Give me a sight to see.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, George. I really appreciate it.
What can we expect from you moving forward?
Hopefully by the next time you see me, I'm either in the process of being like in the sheriff's department, hopefully, or you know, doing something with my life, something, you know, like I'm always doing something. So right now, like we were just talking like on our little break, golfing, maybe that could be like another thing that we could talk about. You know, I'm taking it a little bit more serious, even though I still suck ass, but like, you know, that could be something that we could talk about for sure. Finding a new hobby that I really love and enjoy, and I have fun. You know, I don't take it serious. You know, I'm just enjoying myself, you know, and I feel like that's something that really you know, helped me keep me sane from like being bored at the house instead of like gaming and, you know, doing nothing. Like I have something to do, you know, to enjoy myself, find peace, being relaxed, you know, because when you go golfing, you're basically out in
you're in nature,
nature,
boys,
drinking a couple chelas, you know. You know, it's fun. Like it's fun when you go with the right people and you don't take it very serious because like, you know, it's just a new hobby, getting to learn it, and you're not going pro at it or anything. I mean, unless if something happens, like, oh, you know, like you're really, really good. You should go for a tournament. You know, go play. You know, but nah, that's not the goal. Yeah. The goal is just to have fun, finding a new hobby, and just love doing it, just to get away from everyone and, you know, enjoy it. Yeah. So
to continue with that, sometimes it's nice to have like something, a sport, a hobby, just to look at it with like eyes of innocence, you know, just to kind of look at it the way like a kid would, you know, just to have that perspective and that shift, just like having that is so important.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what I needed.
Yeah.
You know, because at first the gym was my hobby. Yeah. And like I saw it more as a job now. Yeah. So that's why I'm like pushing away from it. But obviously I still want to be in there working out, making sure my body's right. Yeah. Like, cause I do feel like I still need to present myself with a certain image, you know? But I also like to look good. Like I don't want to go overweight, you know, be overweight and stuff like that, you know. But I still want to look good. I still want to look muscular, have muscle. I want to look lean. Obviously, you know, I want to be confident to take off my shirt because I used to, even though like I wasn't fat or anything when I was little, I didn't have the confidence of like, you know, in high school taking off my shirt and all that stuff. And so I still want to have that confidence of being able to go to the beach and like, you know,
look good,
you know. Yeah. But yeah, like honestly, like I feel like I needed to find a new hobby, which I did. I'm kind of glad I found it because it's keeping me sane and like maybe it's making me want to go back to the gym, you know, to like work out and get back into shape. Because when I'll be playing golf, I'm like, fuck, I'm out of breath, you know, like I need to get back in shape. So
yeah. Well, not the fact that you're out of shape, but yeah. Dang. Do you think? I was talking to my mom yesterday about this, actually.
Yeah.
When you used to go to the gym, right? Like, I don't know, 3 to 5 times a week, I would say. Going to it and doing it for that day, it just felt like another task, like crossed off the checklist. Like before, when we first started going to the gym, it was like, fuck yeah. Like I woke up at this time. I went to the gym. I feel proud of myself. Good job, Marcos. Good job, George. But then the more you start doing it, years on top of years on top of years, it just feels like another sort of monotonous sort of task, something that you do so frequently and so easily. So do you have that sort of thing with it too, where it's like going to the gym just doesn't feel like anything anymore?
Like it's just part of a routine.
Yeah, it's just part of a routine.
It used to be like that.
Yeah.
It used to. I'm not gonna lie. It used to be like that, where when I was still like addicted to the gym, even when I was doing AC, when I was working in HVAC, I was still going. Like as much as I was tired, I was like, I still gotta go to the gym. Yeah. And now like I feel like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym, and I just find myself laying down in my room not wanting to go. You know, it's not a priority. I didn't make it a priority anymore. Yeah. You know, so I do feel like I need to get back into that. And like what they say, like it takes you like 7 to 9 days to get a routine to stick to you.
Yeah. Could be more sometimes.
Yeah, it could be more. Maybe like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I need to get back into that routine of getting back into the gym consistently. You know, getting to a routine, like a workout routine that I could follow, and not going to like, oh, like I did this on Monday and it's already Friday. Like I didn't work out these days. Like what am I gonna do now? You know, I need to get back into like an actual routine of working out. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. You know, if I'm off of work, go home, get ready, go straight to the gym. Yeah. You know, just getting in the habit of just going. And that's one thing I see with a lot of people. That's the hardest thing for people to do, is just going. Yeah. Once you go, you did the hardest thing already. You showed up already. That's the hardest thing to do. Yeah. Now you just gotta do it again.
Yeah. Repeatedly.
Even
when you really don't feel like doing it, but you decide to persist anyway. That's really where the I said in a podcast recently, the best sort of motivation is the one that you give yourself, because there are ideas or there's like thoughts in your head about not wanting to go, but when you go, that feeling of motivation, like there's a roadblock, but you decided to overcome it. It's just so enthralling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes you just gotta find that motivation again.
Yeah.
Of like what got you in
Yeah.
the first place. Maybe that motivation ain't it no more, and you gotta find something else. You know, like for me, my motivation was like to compete, and that's what made me like, oh, I gotta keep going. Gotta stay consistent. Now that my main focus is not to compete anymore, I lost that motivation of wanting to go. So I think right now is just finding another motivation for me ongoing, having a purpose, a different purpose now. But giving it time, not rushing things. I'm only 27 years old. You know, the gym's always going to be there. So I'm not like rushing it of going back, you know, because if I go back and not finding that motivation, I just feel like I'm just going to hate it more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm be burned out. I'm just like, I'm gonna give myself another break.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like happened like not too long ago. I was going with one of my homies, and I was loving it. Like, you know, we were working out every day, and I was helping him out trying to lose weight. And then he started working and traveling, and I just felt like I was only going just to help him out. And now that he's not here because he's working, I don't have a reason to go anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I just need to find that motivation again of like, find a purpose to go again for a reason, you know? Like, I'm trying to find a motivation for me to go and get more in shape. I might look like I'm in shape, but deep down, like, I'm not conditioned at all. Like, I can't even run a mile without like stopping. I need to find that motivation again to be able to go running every day, to work out, for a purpose, you know. And I see right now, like, once I get more into like going through the process of like getting into law enforcement will help me get motivated to be more conditioned and to get where I need to get. But the certain situation that I'm in right now, like, I have to put that on hold just because of my current situation, you know. So until like I have better access, like more access to being able to get into like law enforcement, doing everything that I need to do, like from like to like the meetings, to the test and all that stuff. I need to find something that'll be able to let me be able to do all that stuff freely without the stress, you know. Just because I know it's going to affect me of what I'm currently doing, and I don't want that to happen. So, yeah, once I feel like I'm ready for all that, I know I'll be able to, you know, be ready to go back to the gym and get back into a routine, which I should be doing right now. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like I'm just not ready, you know. So, I just feel like finding a purpose again will help me get back in that routine again.
Yeah. My therapist always tells me not to use the word should. He says, instead of using the word should, because it's like something that's obligatory, so something that you have to do, you should be doing. Instead, just use the word want. I want to be doing this. I want to be doing that. I want to be going to the gym. Blah, blah, you know? Yeah. That's something that always helps me out.
Yeah. I'm gonna start using that now. Instead of saying shit, I'm like, I want, you know. But yeah.
Well, damn, man. I appreciate you expressing that and being
of course
vulnerable in that sense.
Yeah,
man.
of course.
I appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on, Marcos.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, George.
And that's it. If you guys want to see more cool guests and more cool conversations, then go ahead and check the corner, and you're going to see a lot of cool conversations with other cool people as well. Feel free to give us a like and a subscribe so that way you can get notified for all the other upcoming podcast episodes that we have with, again, very, very cool people on the way. So if you enjoyed that one, go ahead and check out one of these.